This is a Dragon Blazer production, and I am the little boogeyman.
All right. Coming down the aisle, your podcast tag team champions of the world, Boomer and Blaze.
Hello, podcast world. Welcome to another episode of the Boomer and Blaze Show. I am Boomer.
And I'm Blaze.
And we are back on schedule after our listener request last week. But before we even get into wrestling, because I can do what the fuck I want, dude, I know this is not a TV show review podcast, but what about that season premiere of Chucky? Did you watch this season?
Yeah,
Dude,
of course I watched it.
Major character kill right off the rip.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
He got defensive. He's like, of course I watched it.
Of course I watched it, yeah.
Fuck kind of
I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah.
Because tonight we got another episode.
Yeah, that was good stuff, though. I won't spoil for anybody, I guess.
I love the Chucky show.
Dude, it's great. I love that we live in a time now where that can be on TV. I mean, it's USA, but you know what I mean.
Sci-fi.
The kills are sci-fi. Both, actually. Are they doing both this year?
I think they're on both.
Yeah. But yeah, good shit. Also, I just wanted to... I don't know if you have yet, but I watched The Munsters on Netflix.
I have not watched that, no.
The critics are tearing it apart. Fuck the critics. Okay? Do you know what I thought when I was done? This was Rob Zombie doing The Munsters. It was exactly what I expected. It was funny. The way he shot it. I don't know how he got the colors the way he did, but even the visions and the sets, it was amazing and it was hilarious. He had to add some people that weren't in the show, and he gave an origin story of Herman, which was cool. But yeah, good stuff. It's Halloween, so I'm just sharing. I loved it, but I'm a big Rob Zombie fan. So.
I'm not opposed to watching it. I just haven't.
Yeah.
It's just not. I don't think I share the same love of the Munsters as you do. I was always more of an Addams Family guy.
Really, to be honest, if Rob didn't do it, I probably wouldn't watch it.
So it's more of a Rob Zombie thing.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Because I love all his films.
Yeah.
And I like his music. So yeah, it was more of Rob Zombie did it. Because I was bigger on the Addams Family, I think. But.
Yeah, I like Rob Zombie. So, yeah.
Yeah. But good stuff. Good stuff. Here in October. Have you gotten some pumpkin spice this week? Have you gotten your fix? Good. I just want to make sure before we get started. I don't want him to have a seizure from...
So I went to McDonald's and I was going to do the Happy Meal.
The adult Happy Meal. I have not had a chance yet.
I was going to get an adult Happy Meal, which is either chicken nuggets or a Big Mac, fries, a drink, and a toy.
A four-eyed toy.
Yeah, some four-eyed toy. Yeah. And I was going to do it just for nostalgia reasons. But then I looked at my app, and they had the exact same deal for $5. And the adult Happy Meal's like $10.
But you don't get the toy, right?
But you don't get the toy. So essentially I would have been paying $5 for the toy. Yeah. So instead of buying the Happy Meal, I got the deal.
And said, fuck the toy.
No, and I got a pumpkin spice latte and it was still cheaper.
Got my fix.
I got my pumpkin spice. So
good. We can't have that. Yeah, people have been talking about that adult Happy Meal, I
wanted to do it for nostalgia reasons, but then logic beat out, and I went with the cheap deal
and got your
pumpkin spice.
Woo woo.
Yeah, I got me a pumpkin spice coffee. So
yeah, boy,
I did.
So, we got a little scary stuff out of the way. We'll start like always. There's a lot of WWE to talk about. A lot of good stuff.
So let's get the AEW out first.
We'll do AEW first, and I'll address first what I broke in last week with So there was an altercation between Sammy and Andrade backstage. Andrade got blamed for everything and got sent home, and Sammy fought in the main event that night.
Yeah.
The thing is, this is twice. A couple months ago, Eddie Kingston and Sammy got into it backstage. Eddie got suspended, and Sammy kept wrestling. Just funny how it's always not Sammy's fault. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out. Andrade, though, like, it's not... He wants to leave, and he wants out. But to me, if he did this to just try to get fired, that's not really a way to get back to WWE. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's kind of...
You know, Tony Khan, so far to me, has seemed like a reasonable guy. You know, if you don't want to be there, I'm sure he'll, at least if nothing else, he'll let you go when your contract expires. Like, this isn't the way to go about it.
Right.
I think. The Sammy thing's interesting, but I just think it's what it is. I'm just saying he never gets in trouble. I don't know.
That is weird.
It's a little, you know. Now, the other thing I shared on our page, I'm not going to let CM Punk, a.k.a. Phillip Brooks, hijack this podcast. I'm not going to do that. But the story I shared, I didn't notice in his rant that there was a line where he said, I'm trying to run a business here. And I must have missed that line in all my rage, you know. But I didn't think about it. So the story that came out, what it was saying was apparently Punk was also an EVP at this time. I did not know that was part of his contract. So basically, everybody Tony Khan put in power got into a fucking brawl backstage.
Oh.
Your Honor, reason 4,444 why you don't give wrestlers fucking power.
All right, well, but fuck Phillip Brooks.
You know,
let's get on to the exciting stuff.
We will. We will
talk
I'm sorry,
about... You got more.
No, that's it on AEW. That's it.
Oh, okay.
There's not a lot this week. I told you I'm not going to let him hijack this podcast. We have to do this for Triple H right here, baby, dude. Extreme Rules. Not only was it good, it was fucking extreme.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
I mean, that's what that product is supposed to be, baby. Right there.
Why change the name if you're not going to make every match a specialty match?
Yeah. I mean, right off the rip, the Imperium and the Bruising, what do they call themselves?
The Bruising Brutes?
Brutes, yes. Dude. Sheamus, I think's at the peak of his game.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been around a long time, but Sheamus is on top of his shit right now.
It was a good start.
And they call him Gunner, whatever. I still call him Walter. Dude can go. But it was a great match. That's how you start off Extreme Rules right there. Very intense.
It really was.
And you know my one complaint about the pay-per-view is going to be the main event should have been in the Extreme Rules match. That's just...
No, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it.
I'm nitpicking.
I mean...
But they all were at least stipulations.
They were all stipulations. I believe that Extreme Rules should have a stipulation match on every single match. I want no regular singles match, no regular tag team match. They don't all have to be Extreme Rules.
And they weren't. There was just one, yeah.
There was just the one.
Yeah.
And the match that they had was the Fight Pit match, which was this weird-ass cage match that was actually a really good fucking match. I'm not a huge Matt Riddle fan, but I do love me some
Seth
Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins. Yeah. Seth is probably my favorite in WWE. Probably Seth.
I don't know.
Right now.
Somebody just came back. So.
Well, that's true. But he hasn't really done anything yet. But yeah, that could change real quick. But yeah, and the gear, the tribute to RVD, that's what Seth's gear was. That was sweet. Yeah, that was definitely cool.
The main event was really good.
It was. The Extreme Rules match, Ronda is way better this run than her first one. She obviously, while she was gone and having her baby and being a mom, she obviously trained more. Way better. I couldn't get behind her in her first run. She was way too green. Way too sloppy. Couldn't actually do the wrestling. But, yeah, that was a good match. And, of course, Liv passed out. And we were talking about it before the show, but it was very interesting that Liv had like the Joker smile on herself.
Yeah, it was weird.
When she passed out, and then after was laughing as Ronda's leaving with the title. So, could there be something there?
I think we're getting some changes from Liv Morgan.
We could be getting some changes. There's some rumors.
Now, is Liv on SmackDown or Raw?
Liv is on SmackDown.
Okay, cool. So we probably will be seeing this. See, I watched Raw as well, but I watched the Hulu version, which is only an hour and a half.
Yeah, they cut out.
So they cut out quite a bit. So I wasn't sure if maybe she wasn't on the Hulu version.
Yeah, no, she is on SmackDown. So
I'll get to see her on SmackDown.
And I don't know how I forgot to mention last week. I should have known because I know my stuff, but this was the first time on the main roster that the women battled in a ladder match.
Yes.
And as much as the women, I guess I forgot because they've done everything. They've had Hell in the Cells. They've had table matches. Like, I just never thought.
Just never had a ladder.
There's never been a ladder match. But that was a good match. Yeah, I was actually shocked.
I thought Bayley was going to go over matches, but not just a straight up ladder.
Right, just a straight up ladder for the title.
And yeah, it was good.
Dude, those shots from that fucking ponytail, those sounded worse than flare chops. How can you do that?
I think they are.
Woo.
And it's weird to see her because she's a face right now.
Yeah.
Like, she used to do that all the time as a heel. But as a face, using that hair, ugh.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'm backtracking, but the bat in the damn Ronda Rousey and Liv match, like that shit looked like it hurt. Like Ronda's just beating her like a little bitch with that bat. And there was that spot where Liv jumped off the stairs. I think that's where the bat started. Liv ran around and came off the stairs, and Ronda had that bat and just fucking nailed her in the gut.
Catches her in the gut.
And then she tied her up with that fucking belt and just started beating her leg with that bat. Like that extreme hands off. You know, I'm bummed. I saw it coming. Liv didn't get a long run. I saw it coming. Like, I saw Ronda was gonna, come on. It's Ronda.
I don't know if Bayley holding the ladder made a lot of sense, but that finisher with the ladder was really cool.
So, I've kind of gotten used to that. I don't think you get to watch AEW a lot, but they give zero fucks. Like, if there's a ladder involved, there's 2 or 3 refs holding the ladder all the time. Like, they always have people holding the ladder. It's just a normal...
Yeah.
They figure we're smarter now. Whatever. We don't want them to just fall off the ladder. You want to see this badass spot, so we're gonna...
Right.
The strap match, look, Karrion Kross is so much better now that he's not wearing that gay-ass Spartacus gear, and he's just being Karrion Kross. Some people complained, I didn't, and I'm even old school, but originally in a strap match, you had to drag your opponent around the ring and touch all 4 corners. That used to be how you won. No one wants to see that.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's an original.
I wouldn't hate that.
Some people were like, why didn't they do that? And I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. I mean, that is how they used to be, but...
I wouldn't have hated it.
I wouldn't have hated it, but I'm okay they didn't do that. I mean,
all right. And I don't know if this is really the best match, but it was the best match with the story. And that is Edge. Versus Judgment Day.
Oh, yeah. The whole storyline.
I realized it was technically Edge versus Finn Balor.
Yeah, for the first time ever.
But it was Edge versus Judgment Day.
Yeah, it was. It was. And I expected that, too.
But I loved it. I loved the way they did it. I love that Edge refused to give up until his wife was in danger.
Yeah.
And then they attack her anyways with the concerto. Holy shit. You go back
and even more this run, but he knows this is it. But Edge has always been so good at telling stories. And part of the reason they did this flip is because the rumor is Triple H wants to elevate Finn, which I'm fine with. And who better to help get him there than to do this storyline flip and put Edge in it? Because Edge has always been... Like, Edge makes people feel everything. You want to be behind Edge. People that hate him probably want to be behind Edge, you know what I mean? He can get that. And speaking of that, I wore Edge tonight. I don't know why. I feel I should wear wrestling shirts when I do this. We're not on the video, but you know.
If I had that many, I would do the same.
I forgot I had this. I just found it. This is like...
We don't even do a video podcast on this.
This is like 2008. But yeah, Edge is a great storyteller. Always has been.
That was probably my favorite match of the night. It was still a great match. There might have been better technical matches.
Yeah,
but it was told as such a good story.
And part of the story of his return, though, every time I see Edge in any kind of match where there's no rules and shit, or he's taking I worry. You know what I mean? Like, you knew Edge was out, so I think it draws me in more when he's in these situations. Like, oh shit, fuck. You know,
don't lose your
makes
career
it feel more
again.
real. You know, because of, his past.
Agreed.
Which is something that's missing these days. So I love it. And I might agree with that being the best match of the night, but let's talk about the best fucking moment of the night.
Fuck yes.
And completely, look, if Vince watched this, he had to have, right? So you have to be watching this, Vince, and going, that's the kind of shit I used to do right there. That's what it's supposed to be. They're going off the air. I felt like I was 12 again. They're going off the air, the graphics are up, then the lights go out, the music comes on, and Michael Cole even sells it like, are we still on?
Yeah, right.
Are we still on the air?
And then you start hearing, he's got the whole world in his hands. It was so creepy. Oh. It was awesome. I loved... He's still singing, and they slowly show a spotlight on each one of his puppets, but life-size.
Life-size.
You get to see a life-size Husky Harris, life-size Sister Abigail, Buzzard, Mercy.
Yeah, and there were actually 2 Easter eggs with Sister Abigail. One, if you go back and watch it, there's a set of tag team titles behind her hanging on... like a barrier, and it's not the curtain ones. So somebody fucked up and left a new set of tag titles hanging. They're hanging this way, so you can't see the front plates.
Oh.
But there's 2 right beside each other, and you can see they have the side plates. It was just a quick little thing, And then the other thing was Sister Abigail, whoever it was wearing Brody Lee's mask from when he was in the Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh.
So that was a tribute to Brody Lee.
Yeah, she looked
under
weird.
Her veil.
I wasn't sure why.
That was Brody Lee's mask from the Bludgeon
Brothers. And what was the head?
The head. Oh, that was Burnt Fiend.
Burnt
on the
Fiend.
Announce table, that was Burnt Fiend.
Burnt Fiend.
So we saw Burnt Fiend first. Then we saw the Fiend, and people were going nuts.
Oh my god, they cheered.
Even though they did, you knew that wasn't Bray. I mean, I knew. I don't know. Maybe they thought it was for a minute, but they started going crazy. Then we go back to the door. We got the smoke. Then you see this light start radiating through. Dude, tell me that this was a Hulk Hogan pop. This was a Rock pop. This was a fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin pop.
Bray is fucking huge, man.
Bray is huge. You heard that crowd, right? You heard that shit.
Oh, I heard it.
Now,
why Vince allowed Bray to leave?
Because he was too big.
I know what his reason is. I'm saying it's stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
You have literally, I don't care how big he is, he's also big, not size-wise, but he's beloved.
Walks through the door, mask is still on, you see the lantern. By this point, you already know it's Bray. They wouldn't be showing all this. We forgot to mention they showed the Firefly Funhouse fucking covered in cobwebs.
It was
all
really
the puppets are fucking like laying there, dust. And then Bray comes through the door and he has a new mask. And looks similar to, if you've seen Black Phone, which Blaze says he just watched.
Yeah,
it looks similar to that. Same artist made this new mask, and then he took that mask off, and you didn't think it could get louder, but it got fucking louder. And then he did his little blowout, and the laugh from the Wyatt family, and we got his new logo. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to shit on somebody else this week, besides Punk. Do you know who Jim Cornette, right?
Yeah.
Jim Cornette said that Bray Wyatt's return was stupid, and there's no place in wrestling for that.
For what?
The supernatural.
Jim Cornette can suck my left nut.
Hey, Jim Cornette. Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, Kane, Sting, Doink the fucking clown. It's wrestling, which involves theater, you fucking moron.
Yeah, fuck you, Jim
If
Cornette.
anything, I think wrestling is missing character. If there were more characters instead of I'm just, Tom Johnson, I'm Sami Zayn.
I'm Matt Riddle.
If there were more characters, maybe these young guys wouldn't be doing all this crazy acrobatic shit because that's how you got to sell your guy. We grew up in an era where a fucking dentist could get over. What do you mean? Wrestling is theater. Is wrestling not theater?
I don't know if Dwight Yankum or whatever his name was.
But you know where I'm going. That's what wrestling is. Part of it is theater. It is showmanship.
Theater. Oh, absolutely.
There is totally a place. People are eating this shit up.
I'm sorry, but how do you hear those cheers
and
think, no, this has no place in wrestling?
You know what his problem is? He has no fucking job in wrestling anymore. So he has to be like fucking Bischoff and Vince Russo and everybody else and shit on the product because you don't have jobs. All you got is podcasts. Guess what? We have to work and do a podcast. Fuck you, Cornette.
That's right. Yeah, you can shove that thought right up your fucking ass, Jim Cornette.
It was amazing, and you know how else you know it was a really good pay-per-view? Is because when it looked like they were going off the air, no one was booing. Everyone there expected Bray. They teased stuff all night, but I didn't hear a lot of boos when it was going off the air.
I actually really liked. So I was a little disappointed for the crowds. They started chanting "We want Wyatt" a couple times.
They did,
like during the Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins match.
Yeah,
but then Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle just shut them the fuck up.
Oh yeah,
by just giving it a great show. And don't get me wrong, I also wanted Wyatt.
Yeah, but I hate when anything takes from a match. You feel bad for the guys in there busting their ass.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Chant that shit in between matches.
Yeah.
You know? We all want Bray. Now, when I got to watch it, I already knew Bray was at the end, so it's not like...
It's different when you already know. Yeah. I tried not to get spoiled either, but it's impossible.
I wanted to... I didn't even bother. I flat out told my best friend... Because I knew he was watching it. I'm like, go ahead and spoil me. Don't spoil the rest of the show. Like, I had to stop him because he told me about the Ronda Rousey match. And I'm like, that's fine. Don't spoil anything else. I'm actually going to watch it. But I had my kids this weekend, and as much as I'd love to force them to watch wrestling, they're not into it.
You're going to watch it like it.
I couldn't get them into it.
Yeah.
And I only get them for a weekend, so I'm like, I'll watch it when they go home.
Yeah.
So I did.
Put that on hold.
So I did. So I didn't get to watch it live. So I was like, there's no way with me, because I'm not going to be able to keep myself off of Facebook for 2 days. I was like, go ahead and tell me if Bray shows up. Tell me what happens with the White Rabbit, because I knew something was going to happen.
Yeah.
Feel free to spoil that. Don't spoil anything else. Because I knew that would get spoiled on Facebook like that.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to avoid that. But I figured most of the rest of it, I might be able to avoid too many spoilers, but I knew Bray would be.
Bray was the only one I saw.
Hell, I think you would have spoiled it to me.
I mean,
because we're in a group where you give a lot of info.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you.
I try to wait at least till the next day before I comment on pay-per-views. I tried to.
Well, I had 2 days.
Depending on what you follow, though, like I follow so much wrestling that if I even open Facebook, I'm fucked.
Yeah,
like,
I watched.
There's no winning for me. Like,
yeah, I watched Extreme Rules. I started watching it Sunday night after I took the kids home and after I got disappointed by my Bengals. And then I kind of dozed off during it because it was late.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and watched it in the morning. So that's when I got to watch it. The next day, kinda.
Kinda.
But like I said, my friend spoiled it for me as per my request about Bray. And luckily, he didn't even tell me what exactly happened. He just told me... Final thing of the show. Holy shit, Bray Wyatt. It was fucking awesome.
It was.
That's all he told me.
It was
so
really
I didn't get spoiled on how it happened. I just knew he was there.
It was very cool. It was.
I
dug it big time for sure. And a few Raw notes that we'll throw into Seth. Congratulations to Seth freaking Rollins, new U.S. champ.
Yeah, he worked really hard for that
with a little help from the Beast.
Yeah.
A little help from Brock. Brock Lesnar's back. Brock's back.
Hey, it happened. That happened before his match. He didn't do shit during the match. Seth Rollins earned that title.
Look, I'm glad it happened. Do you know how long it's been since he's had a title? This will blow your mind.
2019.
Well, could be close. I only know it by days. 932 days since Seth Rollins has held a title. So he is now only the second person to be a double Triple Crown champ. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Hold every title. He's held every title twice.
Oh, okay.
I forget what they call it when you win every title.
I don't remember.
I can't remember right for some reason. And he's won every championship twice.
Does that include the tag?
Tag, US, Intercontinental, Universal, WWE. Or however you want to call it. And the only other wrestler that has done it is The Miz.
Twice?
Twice. All the titles twice.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that. Miz has done a lot of different things.
Yeah. Miz is... I love The Miz.
I like The Miz.
And then, of course, we got the Good Brothers back.
Good Brothers!
Good Brothers, the OC, some of the original Bullet Club are back. That didn't surprise me. I saw they left Impact, and I'm like, yep, they're calling Triple H right now. AJ's like, come on, brah. Get my buddies back.
It was a cool...
But now with that...
It was a cool way they did it, too.
It was.
AJ, like, hugs him.
We're getting all these factions now. They got several now in War Games that's coming up, because now you got, I'm going to mess it up, Ligo del Fantasma debuted on SmackDown. They were brought up from NXT.
Oh, okay.
And they're a faction. And they put them with Selena Vega. She's also back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they replaced the other girl. They're like, you're not good enough. We're putting Vega back in there. Sorry. No. So you got them, and you got the Bruising Brothers, and the Imperium, and the New Day, and the Bloodline. We get all these factions now, man. I want to see the Bloodline against somebody in War Games. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to put the Bloodline in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm waiting to see where that goes, too, because I think some point Jay's going to turn eventually. I love the whole Jay hates Sammy thing.
I tell you what, I got to watch Sammy and the Bloodline for the first time.
Dude,
it was
gold.
Fucking great.
And Jay selling this, like, Jay was so pissed when Sammy got that new shirt. Jay ripped it off thinking Sammy was getting kicked out, and then Roman pulls that shirt out, and Jay's like, Jesus Christ. And Roman hugged Sammy, man. I mean, Sami Zayn is gold.
Yeah.
And finally, he's somewhere he should be. I felt he's being underused. And this Bloodline shit's great. Like, we all know he's not related. He's an honorary use.
Honorary use?
Honorary use. So.
I love how he kept telling Riddle, I can say yeet. You can't say yeet.
Sami Zayn is...
so dumb.
Sami Zayn's great, man.
All right, we ready?
I think we're ready. I think we're ready to
quit
rattling. Yeah. We are going to jump in our time machines, and we're going to check out In Your House 2
from 1995.
All right, so the pay-per-view starts off with shots of Nashville, and this really like blazes into this song that was playing. Right, you're digging that. Some kind of weird like.
I just kind of threw up a little bit in my mouth.
It was. What do you mean? So they're playing.
Okay. First off, anybody who knows me, I'm not a huge country fan.
No, you're kidding.
And Jeff Jarrett singing country,
that's going to happen.
Not changing my feelings at all.
It's going to happen tonight.
Oh, I'm about to lose points for this show.
If I remember correctly, the song is "Be With My Baby Tonight."
So it's not even it's a real song. It's not a original Jeff Jarrett.
Well, it is an original whatever WWE song. Yeah, they wrote it for Jarrett. Yeah.
Oh,
it's an original. Yeah. Anyway, we made it through that painful little. It was kind of cool when the In Your House graphic like knocked on the front door.
And then decided to break in by going through the window.
Yeah, just curl through the window. And then we get Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler, and Jerry has a fucking cowboy hat with a crown around it.
Hey, that wasn't a bad...
That
wasn't a bad cowboy hat.
He is rocking that shit, man. Vince has on a leather vest, and they both are wearing those, what do you call those Texas ties? With a little... You're supposed to know these things.
Why would I know?
I don't know.
I just told you I don't like country. Why would I know country
so you know
attire?
The name of the ties that they wear. I don't know what they're called, but whatever.
But you know, Jerry the King Lawler is a country king, McMahon.
Country king. Wow. So they start talking about what we're going to see tonight, and they mentioned that we get to see Jeff Jarrett fucking perform. Boy, I'm excited.
Fortunately.
And they talk about the main event later on, which will be Sid and Diesel for the title. This is the third straight pay-per-view to feature Sid and Diesel in the main event. But of course, the last one we watched, it was a tag team match, but still, this will be the third time for Sid and Diesel being on the top. So
it makes sense.
Yeah.
These are two giant men.
And we're still in that depleted, roster, and they have a score to settle, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And I love Sid anyway. I don't care.
And I like Diesel.
Yeah, and I like Diesel. So I'm cool with it. And the first match of the night, we get the 1, 2, 3 Kid comes out, and then Jarrett music plays right away. Why the fuck does Jarrett kick off every pay-per-view?
It wasn't Jarrett.
But it was the roadie this time. So
it was Roadie.
It was the roadie. And right away, dude, 1, 2, 3 Kid fucking attacked Roadie before he got to the ring. Like, he just ran down the aisle and started thumping away at him.
Yeah, this was a match between two future DX members.
Yeah, but they were beating the shit out of each other in this one. And Kid had the advantage for a long time until they were outside and Road Dogg hit the old nut shot on the corner post. Ouch.
Just something just dawned on me. You realize that Triple H is the newest member of WWF out of all the DX. All of DX is already in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
In different locations. Roadie with Jeff Jarrett.
1, 2, 3 Kid.
Billy Gunn with Bart.
Bart, yeah.
1, 2, 3 Kid with Razor Ramon. Essentially.
Yeah. And no Triple H yet.
And then Sean's been there forever.
Yeah.
And Triple H hasn't even shown up. And arguably, Triple H is the leader of DX.
Yeah. He'll come eventually.
Eventually.
But
he's
right,
coming soon, I'm sure.
Is. And now, not all... I mean, if you think about it, other than Sean Waltman and Daddy Ass, because he's in AEW, DX is kind of running WWE now. So...
Yeah.
Triple H is in charge, Sean's running NXT, and Road Dogg is a producer. Yeah, so DX is kind of running things, literally now.
Yeah, they didn't really have to bring a bunch of people in to make that reunion happen.
Yeah, no, they didn't. And someone did say a line about the other one that's missing is playing with kitchen appliances on the other channel. That was the little line they said about Billy.
I like that they gave a shout out to China too.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely.
That was cool.
Very, very cool. And this was actually a pretty good match.
We should probably talk about the match.
Has nothing to do with DX right now, but hey, we get off track. It's fine. We do what we want.
No, this was a decent match with a scary ending.
But there were a couple of cool spots. Before that, there was that nice power bomb. He caught X-Pac coming off the rope and gave him a nice power bomb. But he fucking killed him.
Yeah, no.
He killed him to win the match.
This match ends with Roadie giving I want to say X-Pac. 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Lightning Kid, 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Pile driver off the top rope. And holy shit, that looks scary.
Yeah, it didn't go right. I think Road Dogg's leg might have went out a little on him or something. It did not look good.
I'm glad I know who 1, 2, 3 Kid becomes because I would be legit concerned if I would have watched this live.
Yeah, Kid's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He will resurrect his X-Pac someday, but the kid's dead. Shit. It looked rough. So obviously with that, Roadie won the match. And he's on the way back to the locker room. He's like, I gotta stop and do a sound check for Jarrett's concert.
So, I am gonna give this 3.5 death drivers.
Those were death drivers. But I'll be with you, and I'm gonna give this 3.5 corner post to the balls.
Ow.
Ouch.
I don't know which looked worse.
And then afterwards, Roadie was like, testes, 1, 2. But yeah, Kid died.
Are these things still on?
They still attached. Well, we'll see what happens after they scrape Kid off the mat and drag him to the back. Because he ain't walking back there.
All right, let's get to the next match.
All right, before the next match, we cut to Todd Pettengill, who's in Sid's dressing room, and Sid's there with Ted DiBiase and the entire $1 Million Corporation. For a minute, I thought everybody but Sid was going to talk. Literally interviewed everyone else first. Like, why do we care what the fuck Kama has to say?
You gotta save the best for last.
Yeah. Oh, and it was classic Sid. He said the match was going to be a fucking execution. Only how Sid can.
Right.
Gonna be an execution. It is good stuff. I can't hate it. Then we cut to some guy named fucking Brad I've never seen before.
Fuck you, Brad.
Fuck you, Brad. You never came back.
No, I think he was just someone who sells merch.
That's what he was doing too. He was in Diesel's locker room and Sean was right there because you can't get a shot without Sean, and they're trying to sell the shirts.
I tell you, a lot of women that probably bought a lot of shirts after Sean was wearing it.
And there's probably a lot of women that shelled their shirt for Sean, too. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Pam, where you at? Oh, I guess I just out of nowhere, I randomly thought of this, but no celebrities again. See, no celebrities in your houses. We don't do that.
No,
you got Jerry Lawler.
Shows.
You don't need another.
I'm sure we'll get some on SummerSlam.
I'm
next
sure
week.
too, which is where we're going next. Pretty excited about that. So our next match, here comes fucking King Mabel and Sir Mo. The fuck did Mo have a crown on for? What'd you do?
He's Sir Mo. He's been knighted by Mabel.
I bet he has.
Yeah.
And they are taking on Savio Vega and the bad guy, Razor Ramon. You know, we're watching this match, and the first thing that popped in my head was I kind of feel bad for Savio. Because he's not a bad wrestler, but nobody gives a fuck. Like, I'm sorry, Savio. Like, every time he's in the ring, it's just quiet. Like, putting him with Razor doesn't even help. Like, I don't know. I feel a little bad for him.
I think it doesn't help that they're feuding with Mabel and Sir Mo.
And I'm a big tag team fan, but this, like, Jesus. This was garbage. It was. Fucking, there were a couple cool spots. Mo went to send Mabel, like, into the corner to hit Savio, and Savio moved it. Mabel fucking just nailed that corner. That was a pretty loud shot. We found out Mo doesn't belong on the top ropes at all, apparently. He can't climb the ropes. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, yeah, that moonsault or whatever it was.
So he has trouble getting up the ropes, and he goes for a moonsault, and Savio moves, and Mo lands on his dick. It looked painful. He landed right on the head, folks.
The testes!
Right on the head.
Testes.
Yeah, it looked very... but then later on, he gets back on the ropes, and Razor's trying to do his backdrop, and Mo fucking slips again. Here's a little backstage fact that'll shock no one. This is Mo's last pay-per-view.
Is it?
Not just in WWE. It's his last wrestling pay-per-view ever. Mo disappears. I don't know what happens, but Mo disappears. He's just gone.
Poor Mo. My.
Poor Mo.
Does that mean Mabel becomes Viscera soon?
Not quite. We're not done with this King Mabel shit yet. It just means he doesn't have Oscar or Mabel anymore.
You mean Mo?
Or Mo, yeah. Mabel doesn't have Mabel.
He goes... Mo leaves and goes to Mo's Tavern. He's a Simpsons character now.
He's a Simpsons character. Poor Mo. I don't know. This was fucking... I love tag team wrestling, but I don't know. And then it ends when Mabel out of nowhere hits a power slam on Razor, and the match is over.
Yeah. Yeah, this wasn't too great.
Yeah, it had a couple nice spots, but it wasn't as good as the first match at all.
No.
We were just talking about how the fuck did Vince just think, oh, it's a big guy, he's going to be good. It's not how it works. It's not how any of this works.
Apparently.
Hats off to Razor, because he sold the shit out of the power slam. Razor didn't move at all. Like,
you know, maybe this is the problem, is right here is where Vince was like, oh, Bray's too big, so I gotta get rid of him. Because he tried with Mabel, and it was like, oh no,
big
guys don't work.
So part of it, was this is post steroid trial.
Oh, yeah, he didn't have a choice.
It's after the steroid trial, and the roster's short anyway, so in Vince's mind, you can't have the big muscular guys anymore, so you just need the large fellas. You know?
Well, you're obviously not on steroids.
Yeah, you're not on steroids.
You're just on McDonald's
fucking giant.
drive-thru.
You're eating them adult Happy Meals. That's what's going on.
A lot of them. That'd be expensive.
So, yeah, I'm going to give this 2 shots to the dick.
I'm going to give this 1.5 BBMs.
BBMs, huh?
Yeah, big, beautiful Mabels.
Big, beautiful Mabels.
Yeah, I just put the W and turn it around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. BBMs.
Were you more happy? So you're going to get up in Mabel's DMs about the BB? Well, he's dead. I don't know.
No.
I guess you can't DM him anymore.
Ghost Mabel.
We could have a seance. Ghost Mabel might be better.
Wouldn't be? He's probably pissed if he's Ghost Mabel. It's like, why couldn't I come back as Viscera at least? I'm a Ghost Mabel. That shit sucks.
Savia's like, let me come back as Quang. Let me come back as Quang. Please. We're horrible people. It's fine. So yeah, that's that. Yeah. Let's see what happens next. Oh, that's my deep breath after the 2 segments we just sit through. Well, let's start with Todd Pettengill talking to the band and the singers and acting like a 3-year-old. Yeah, can you make this noise? Look what I can do. It was pretty stupid, but then we got Doc in the back talking to Diesel's Lumberjacks, and he said, hey, I heard Ted paid one of you guys off, and I saw those smoking guns in the brand new trucks today. And of course they all deny it. In case we haven't mentioned it, the main event, Sid and Diesel for the title, is a lumberjack match. So,
and $1 Million Man paid off one of the lumberjacks.
Paid off one of the good lumberjacks. Let's see. So then after this, unfortunately, we get JEFFJARRETT. Ain't I great?
Double J.
Double J singing his song With My Baby Tonight. What'd you think, Blaze?
I'm sorry, I fell asleep.
Like, here's the thing. I didn't remember this from when I was a kid. You were just hoping something was going to happen. You either wanted it to really suck or somebody interrupt, but they legit made us. After Jarrett spent 12 minutes telling us how he's the greatest thing ever, then we had to listen to him actually sing the fucking song.
Yep.
And so then I was like, well, let's not stop to record for this. Let's watch the next match. Then the next match happened. First we got a SummerSlam package before the next match, but was there something else you wanted to say?
Yeah, you may disagree with me, but I thought this was better than the last match.
Well, this match?
Better than the
we just
Mabel
watched? We just
tag team?
I guess.
At least
I mean,
Henry Godwin can actually move.
That was our next that was our next match was Henry O. Godwin and Bam Bam Bigelow. And actually Godwin was in WCW before this, so he has been around a while.
I feel like Godwin's an okay wrestler that got stuck with a shitty gimmick.
Yeah. Vince thought he could be the modern day Hillbilly Jim.
Did we need a modern day Hillbilly Jim?
Did we need a dentist and a plumber and a baseball player? And
we're about to get ourselves a new dentist.
A new dentist. that was the thought behind it, whatever. It was an okay match. Thankfully, it wasn't that long.
And I'll tell you what, there's a dentist in AEW that does a pretty damn good job.
She could do any job she wanted.
That's right.
DMD. Go Britt Baker. But, yeah, whatever. Bam Bam won the match by Godwin going up and coming down and trying to drop a knee or some shit, and Bam Bam rolled out of the way. Godwin missed, and he pinned him, mercifully ending this match. It looked like Godwin missed a bunch of spots, but I know from back in this day, when guys switched over, like there's different sized wrestling rings. You wouldn't think there is, but there is. And WWEs are bigger than WCWs, and the ropes are different, so guys sometimes had trouble, making the adjustment when switching to WWE.
Yeah, when a lot of that is muscle memory. Yeah.
Arn even talked about that once, how hard it was because of that. Certain moves, you have so much muscle memory and stuff. Or Arn says he knows in his head how many steps he has to take before he does a certain move. And when you switch like that, it can... I'm not saying Henry Godwin was the greatest wrestler in the world, but I know he's already been around. He was from WCW, so it was what it was. I give it one missed headbutt.
Like I said, I thought this was better than the last match. Last match I give 1.5. So this one, I suppose... Okay, I thought it was better, but I don't know about 2. I'm going to give this 1.5. Sweet!
Nice. I thought we were going to see the slot bucket, but we didn't get to see that.
Almost.
We were so close. Oh, and then, just to cap off this wonderful segments, we get a Bob Backlund sighting.
Fuck me.
He's in the audience. And I said it, I'm just going to say it on the show because I said it to you privately. Like, I don't know why, but every time we see Mr. Backlund campaigning, it's young boys. I'm just saying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. You were playing chess with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Now you're with these 3 teenage boys passing out the Bob Backlund buttons.
Well, here's the weird thing. They have this segment showing Bob Backlund talk to these kids. They gave no one a microphone. No. You can't hear shit.
Didn't put a light on Backlund or anything. They just happened to say, here's Bob Backlund in the dark. Just talking to some boys.
Wow, you're really going dark along with the lighting effects there.
I don't see nothing wrong.
No. Whoa. We see a lot wrong.
We do.
There's so much wrong with the bumping and grinding there.
R. Kelly proved that.
Oh.
This show's going bad, and it's my fault. We're sinking fast. I'm trying to make entertaining content because that shit
Bob
wasn't
Backlund.
back. I just thought you would be happy that he was back.
No.
Me neither.
No, I'm not. Ever.
Hopefully, whatever in store is next is better. That's all I got to say about that.
It can only go up from here.
Yeah. Please don't say that. Do you remember WrestleMania 11? Do I got to bring
son
it up?
of a bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully
let's see
it's better
what
than
it is.
That. All right. So before the next match, we get Todd Pettengill talking to Sean. I loved that Sean called Jeff Jarrett's Goldilocks. Just talking about how he's going to, whoop that ass tonight. And our next match is Shawn Michaels challenging Jeff Jarrett for the Intercontinental title. Jarrett's music hits, but the roadie comes out, and he has to talk shit for a few minutes before he introduces Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett was still trying to get ready.
He was having technical difficulties with his glowing outfit.
I think they call that a wardrobe malfunction.
First one since Janet. Well, this was way before Janet.
No, we've had way before. We've had plenty of wardrobe malfunctions since then.
Timberlake wasn't even singing yet, was he? Well, yeah, he was. 90s, yeah. We might have some. He might have been Mickey Mouse Club 90s,
still. Yeah, he might have been. Yeah. I think NSYNC started in 96, 97, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Speaking of NSYNC, you actually kind of called this. After this match, Jarrett and the roadie both are Bye, bye, bye. Both leave immediately after this match because of a disagreement over the... So we saw Jarrett perform. I think he lip-synced on the show, but in reality, Jarrett did sing that song.
Oh, he did?
He did actually sing it. But the storyline's going to end up being that the roadie actually... So they're doing the Milli Vanilli thing, is the storyline.
Is this shortly after Milli Vanilli?
I would have to look it up, but... They both leave right after this. Jarrett's back by the end of the year, and Road Dogg's back early 96, and they end up finishing the storyline the way it was originally meant to be. You know, Rhodey was actually the singer, not Jarrett.
Oh.
But anyway, then Shawn comes out, and the place goes fucking nuts because it's Shawn Michaels, and man, I don't like Jarrett. This was the best Jarrett match we've watched.
Oh, hands down.
And yeah, I mean... Dude,
this was a good match.
It was a good match, and it had everything that you wanted, even some shenanigans from the roadie.
What? Shenanigans?
What? Where do you want me to start? Because there were several of them. One spot, though, before Rhodey even interfered, Jarrett tried to walk out. Like, he's like, fuck this. I can't hang with Shawn. So he tries to walk out, and Shawn literally puts his arm around the ref and just starts counting with him. Like, go ahead, bitch. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And of course, his ego, it made him go back in because I can't do that. But, the first one I recall is, Jeff Jarrett had the abdominal stretch on, wanted a little bit of extra leverage and reached out for Rhodey's hand.
I'm sorry, but when you're standing there in front of your idol, you just want to grab hold. Yay!
Oh, wow.
I love you. And you know, the roadie his idol was in that ring. It wasn't anything malicious.
He's like, this was reach out and touch someone.
Reach out and touch me.
Reach out and touch. Boy, he's far way back. Well, if it was so just a handshake, why'd the ref kick the roadie's hand and break it up?
That's terrible. Terrible.
Lawler said that was despicable, the ref did
Despicable. He's not supposed to be getting involved.
So that
he was just trying to, touch the hand of his eyeball.
He was just trying to make sure Jarrett's hands were dry, and stuff that was going on, doing his roadie job. I'm sure that's all. There was another spot where Jarrett sent Shawn into the corner. No, threw him over the corner. Dude, he got some air. You remember that spot where he threw Shawn over literally the corner of the ring, and he went like way high in the air and cracked down on his back. There was just so much in this match to cover. It was classic storytelling. After Jarrett tried to walk out, he was still playing the count, doing the classic walk around heel, I'll get in when I'm ready. Back him up. Back him up. But Jarrett hit some good, that one drop kick by Jarrett, nailed him right in the face. Like, it was good. Like, where's this Jeff Jarrett? And all the other matches.
We got some double nut shots.
Dude, we did. And Shawn, the ref was even like, don't do it. Don't. And Shawn's like, fuck that.
No.
Ball shot. Right to the corner post. It looked painful.
To the testes.
And then we're at a point where Jarrett has Shawn's head over the rope and he's doing the choke with the leg. The ref pulls him off. He's distracted. And what do you know? Here comes the Road Dogg to choke Shawn on the rope.
What? I didn't see that.
Well, what was it when Road Dogg had his hands around Shawn's neck and was literally pulling his head over the rope? What do you call that?
Well, Shawn is in the ring with his idol.
Oh my!
He just was trying to get him closer so he could talk to him about asking him how great it is to be in the ring with such an amazing performer like Jeff Jarrett.
Only this...
that singer is gold. Platinum.
Oh, this guy. Only this guy could turn this... Like, he's turning Rhodey's cheating into a scene from fucking Titanic. Like, move over. By the way, there was plenty of room. You should have threw the bitch in the water. I'm just saying. Jack could have got on the door.
Actually, I just recently reviewed Titanic, and I disagree. I disagree. I rewatched it, and during that scene, he actually does try to get on the platform, but then the weight was too much and they both fall off. Oh. So he purposely doesn't get back on to save her. Got it. There actually wasn't enough room. It looked like there was enough room.
It looked like it was giant. That was,
but there was too much weight with both of them on there for them to safely stay on there.
Well, the second time that Rhodey tried to, comfort Sean or whatever, while he was holding his neck, Jarrett went to get Sean. That wasn't
comforting. He just wanted to talk to him
just
about
whispering in
how
his ears,
great
sweet nothing.
It was to work with Jeff Jarrett.
How great it was. And where he could get his copy of Jarrett's CD and stuff.
Absolutely.
Cassette,
he thought Sean would know.
I forgot to mention after Jarrett sung, Vince was like, you can purchase this on cassette.
Yeah, CD.
Not CD, which they got to be coming soon, right? I don't know, but it's just funny he said cassette. You should find out when CDs
I'm about to find out when compact discs were a thing.
Yeah. But Sean also, he did his classic flip in the corner, got whipped into the corner, flipped on his back and over. That looked pretty painful. And while he was outside and the ref wasn't paying attention, here comes the Road Dogg with a clothesline to Sean. I knew he was Googling. I'm like, I'm going to catch this guy right now. He's busy right now. He's not going to have an answer for that. Jarrett thought that was the end, too. He's like, count him out. That's it. Count him out. He's not getting up from that. Not at all. Oh, man. But it was good. It was a really good match. The other part where the ref got distracted was, what happened was Jarrett went for figure 4, and Sean kicked him off of him to prevent it, and Jarrett went into the ref. So the ref was down, and then Sean was getting ready to tune up the band, and the roadie came in and clipped the knee out, like we saw in another pay-per-view. He did that in another pay-per-view where he clipped the knee out like that while the ref wasn't looking. So then, after the ref's up and everything, Jarrett signals Rhodey to trip Sean, and the Rhodey's going to blind trip, and doesn't realize he trips Jarrett.
All right. It's back to cheating 101.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dr. Blaze has something to tell you.
Time to school you.
If you are going to trip someone to help your friend win, pay attention.
Yeah,
look. Make sure you're tripping the right man. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
I mean, maybe
trip the right person.
Maybe because he was in the presence of greatness with Jarrett. Maybe he was blinded by the light.
He was starstruck.
Or thunderstruck. I don't know. Hell. Did we mention the fact that when Jarrett was coming out, Vince was like, we know he can sing, we know he can spell, let's find out if he can wrestle.
You're right. Like he hasn't wrestled ever before.
Like he's not been wearing the Intercontinental title for fucking months. Yeah. Like, he just wrestled. It was his first fight.
So real quick, the first CD was invented in 1979.
Was that the Laserdisc? Is that what that actually was?
Wow. I'm not sure. They first started being sold in the U.S. in 1984. Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen was the first CD released in the United States.
Wow. I didn't think it was that far back.
In 1984. They didn't start overtaking vinyl and cassettes until 1991. That's when they got popular. That's when they got popular, but they've been around
a long time.
Probably just like everything.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff.
It was just way too expensive to buy a CD player and everything, so they weren't.
Oh yeah, it's the same with like cell phones. We don't think those were around in like the first one. I think was 70s or 80s or something.
Yeah,
like that. But it was
only
so
rich
expensive.
people.
Yeah, but after that missed trip, Jarrett turned around and walked right into the sweet chin music, baby.
Yeah, and he kind of tuned up the band. There was a little tuning involved.
A little quick tuning.
He had to make sure that it was the right acoustics when he slammed that foot into Jeff Jarrett's chin.
Yeah. And this is a little something from me to all wrestlers, because when Shawn hit that sweet chin music, I'm like, that's it. Hey, wrestling world, a finisher is a fucking finisher.
Oh, you don't like the whole kicking out of the finisher?
Not of 20 of them, no.
No,
But think about back when we were a kid. Like, did you have any doubt watching this even now that shit was over? You knew it was
absolutely.
over. Sweet chin music, over. Nowadays, guys hit finishers and you don't know if it's going to be over or not.
I think it's, especially in AEW, it's an overused
trope.
Is,
if it's used right and it's telling a story, I'm okay with it. But just to do it.
But I don't like it when anybody can just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then it kind of takes away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the fact that you can kick out of a finisher gives a little bit more excitement. Like, oh my gosh, I thought it was over. It's a shock.
There again, yeah, if it's used right. But there's overkill. There's overkills these days.
It is.
Yeah. But this was.
But I don't think it's as bad in WWE as it is AEW.
Yeah.
AEW, they kick out all the fucking time. Nobody has finishers in AEW. There isn't a finisher.
There's
but signature moves.
It takes forever to get there, you know? Yeah, signatures. Tons of signatures. But anyway, great match.
Very good match.
Best match tonight so far, even though Mabel's close. But
Mabel? Nah.
Or not. Let's see. I'm going to give this... we didn't see Shawn's ass. Which is normally something that happens.
Are you disappointed?
Well, you know, no, we got plenty of action in the last pay-per-view. The listener request took care of that. We got to talk about Johnny Gunnigan and the love he gave. I'm going to give this four Sweet Chin Musics.
4 Sweet Chin Musics, eh?
Yeah, I think just everything with the storytelling, everything. This was a great match. It really was. And I'm pleasantly surprised because of Jarrett.
I think I'm also going to go 4 shots to the nuts.
There was a lot of nut shots in this.
Testes!
All right, well, because this isn't in your house crazily, we'll see what's next. We're almost done here. This is nuts.
I know. We're already an hour and 20 minutes into an hour and 55 pay-per-view.
Yeah. 2 more to go. Let's see what's going to happen.
All
right, so before our next match, we get Barry in the back again, slinging some more merchandise.
Hey, I don't know why you hate Barry so much.
I don't know, because I'm mean sometimes. And, you know, they're back there in the locker room, and we have Shawn and Razor in the foreground, but Blaze is like, who the fuck are these other guys?
Yeah.
A bunch of nobody. Well, I'll tell you, there was a tag team in the background, Techno Team 2000. You probably never heard. They're as famous as the Blue Brothers.
Ugh.
This is their only pay-per-view appearance, and it's shot in the locker room, and they're fucking lumberjacks in the main event. Only pay-per-view appearance. By the way, wasn't that a nice set? It was a shirt and Shawn Michaels Hart glasses for $20.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You couldn't get that now. Gosh, can we go back in time just to buy the merchandise?
Right.
And so our next match is a tag team title match. It's Yoko and Owen defending against the Allied Powers, Lex Luger, and the British Bulldog. This is Lex Luger's only In Your House appearance. He's about to be back in WCW here in a couple months. Actually ends up being on Raw and Nitro on the same night just because Raw was still taped back then. And Nitro was live.
Oh, it wasn't live. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, I'm a huge fan of tag team matches, but Luger and Bulldog just aren't very good.
I haven't really liked Lex since The Narcissist. Like, I loved him as a heel. The Narcissist was great. This whole red, white, and blue shit.
And Luger didn't like it, and that's a problem. Like, Luger wasn't that great of a wrestler. He's admitted that. But he had a good look. He could pull it off when he was a heel. You can cover up your lack of skills if you're a heel, Because you can do some dirty shit and blah, blah.
Yeah.
But when they're trying to make you the next fucking Hulk Hogan and you don't even like people. Like,
you don't even like people.
No, he said that the Lex Express thing actually caused him some anxiety and stuff because he's just not a social kiss the babies. Like, that wasn't him.
Right.
You know. So I agree. I think when they tried to make him a face, it just didn't... No. It didn't work. It's not.
Maybe that's not his fault, but because I did like him as the narcissist.
That was like the perfect character for Lex Luger. I don't know why. Looking in the mirror, like the whole that was great.
Vince just wanted to.
He needed somebody
to fill the void.
Yeah, he needed his next Hulk Hogan. Wrong pick, Vin. There was a spot in the match when Luger tried to. Was it Luger or Bulldog that tried to backdrop Owen? And it ended up being a flat face. Like, Owen almost broke his wrist.
Oh, yeah. No, that was the British Bulldog.
That was Bulldog. Yeah, he tried to
tosses Owen up in the air, and Owen doesn't go the full turn. He falls face first. Well, he kind of saves himself by using his elbow.
Yeah.
But
that
looked rough. Weird.
Yeah, it was a rough landing. There's a spot, too, where Luger sent Yoko into the corner, and Yoko stepped on Owen's foot.
Well, no, he fell back.
Oh,
He fell on his ass.
Fell on his ass and squashed
his ass landed on Owen's foot. And then Owen and Yoko start getting in a fight, and they push each other.
And point out what the fuck the Allied powers were trying to do.
They're trying to stop it.
The fuck are you...
Fucking just sit back and let it happen.
The fuck are you doing? It doesn't matter your faces. Your opponents are literally arguing. You're like, stop, guys. We have a match.
Guys, let's not fight. Let's not fight. We fight. You fight. No.
Sing Kumbaya with us.
No.
No. It's not going to happen. There were a couple other moves that just looked... You know, when you grow up, sometimes your childhood views are just destroyed. Like, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good match. Thankfully, it wasn't too long.
No, it wasn't too long.
So that was good. So Yoko went into the corner, ended up smacking his head on the corner post, and they did a double backdrop. And then the ref's trying to get Bulldog out of the ring, and Owen breaks it up, the pin, and then Yokozuna kills Lex Luger with a leg drop, and the match is over.
You know, the sad thing is you gotta wonder if British fucked up that backdrop because he was on cocaine.
Yeah.
Drugs.
I mean, it's possible.
Drugs are bad.
You know, he couldn't remember the fucking match with Brett at Wembley Stadium, so I mean, the cocaine just... Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Oh, man. Wow. But anyway, there again, look, that wasn't even a finisher, but anytime Yokozuna fucking lands on you, the match is over.
Right.
You're not fucking getting up. 650-pound man that just dropped you.
See, I actually thought this was going to end in a breakup between Yoko and Owen Hart, and then no, they
hugged it out.
They hugged it out.
Jim Cornette got in there with fuck you, Jim Cornette.
Take that damn tennis racket and shook it straight up your ass.
There's no place for that in wrestling while I'm managing this giant Samoa wearing a fucking diaper that we're saying is from Japan. Yeah, fuck you, Cornette.
Fuck you.
And I bought that when I was a kid too, by the way. Totally.
I didn't question it.
I didn't question it one bit. Now I watch it I
was like, yeah, he's from Japan. That makes sense. Yeah.
Sumo wrestler?
Yeah, it's sumo.
By the way, this is a random side note, but picture this. I know you remember Rikishi. You remember the gear Rikishi wore. Just the diaper.
Pretty much.
That's what Vince wanted Yoko to wear. Yoko's like, no, dog.
Negative.
Have you seen what's going on down here?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Yoko just wore the diaper?
Ugh.
Vince. Well, this wasn't the worst match. I mean, this wasn't worse than Mabel's match. Thank God.
No,
because Owen saved it a lot. Because Owen's so good. That enziguri kick from Owen into the head, that was good. I didn't totally hate this. It wasn't total garbage.
I was going to give it a 3 fucked up backdrops.
3 fucked up backdrops. I'm not going to go quite that high, but I'll give it 2.5, hugging it out.
I felt like it was an average match. I liked it better than you did, clearly. Yeah. I had no issues with it. It had some good story elements to it.
Right.
I don't like Lex Luger's character as an all-American hero, but the kind of allied powers is alright, and they weren't bad enough in the ring where I have an issue with it. And I always love Owen.
Oh yeah, Owen's
and Yoko's kind of fun at times.
I love you. I love those guys as a team. I love too. Like even though they were randomly thrown together. And besides, I was going to give it a 3, but Savio stole half. He stole half. So
come on now. Come on. Negative. No.
You know he's a thief. Doc told us.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, we forgot to mention that. There was a little backstage segment where they took it to Doc, and he was telling the story of how Jeff Jarrett and Rhodey just got in a huge fight and called each other a bunch of bad names.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't see either one of them.
I think that's our breakup going on tonight.
That's you letting them know those guys are leaving. Right now. They're gone. So. All right. Well, all we got left is our
main event. Lumberjack match between Diesel and Psycho Sid.
All right, before the main event, we get a Superstar Hotline commercial, and they show Sean on the phone talking to somebody, you know, get your parents' permission if you're under 18. Nobody was doing that shit, you know what I mean? Kids that were calling that were not asking mom and dad, and if they got caught, they're like, Vince said it was okay.
Vince, who the hell is Vince?
Mr. McMahon said it was all right, Ma. And after that, we get the entrance of Diesel or Sid's Lumberjacks, and then Sid comes to the ring. And same with Diesel, and the match begins. It wasn't a horrible match. It was probably the best one these two have had. I would think.
It was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
It wasn't exactly a good match. There were
some good spots.
But it's entertaining because of the Lumberjacks. And we got to see Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
For the first time, we got to see Triple H as a Lumberjack. And a couple of people you'll never see again. Like Techno Team 2000 and the Mad Max Moon guy, whatever. The dude with tie-dye.
Duke the Dumpster.
He sticks around for a minute. Mr. Drosset. He was a French garbage man, apparently.
Oh, oui.
But there were some cool spots. What about when Diesel jumped the top rope and just dove into the fucking Lumberjacks?
Well, yeah, after the Lumberjacks pulled him out and started beating the crap out of him, he wasn't a fan. He wasn't a fan, so he decided to go, fly!
Calm down, guys. Sean actually did it too. The Lumberjacks were like, all beating the shit out of Diesel.
He just jumps on him to help Diesel.
And he just comes around and Sean just dives on all of them. Like, Mabel pulled him out at one time, beat that ass, put him into the post, slammed him on the concrete. It was entertaining. It was fine. It ended weird again. I guess these two can't do finishers. I don't know.
Well, Diesel, or, Psycho Sid did a powerbomb on Diesel.
And it wasn't a bad one.
It wasn't bad.
He took too long. He took too long to do it, and then he was gloating after he did it. High five.
The high five. He's like, I got this now.
So Diesel kicked out of that shit. You waited too long. And then Diesel hit a big boot, and apparently that's all you got to do.
That was a weird big boot,
Yeah,
too.
He didn't nail it right direct, the finishes have been a little rough with these two guys, but it wasn't bad. It was entertaining. It was out of control at one point. And Sid does so little, but still does a lot. Like his facials and stuff. I don't know. I'm a big Sid fan.
I like his face.
Yeah, he makes really great facials.
That sounds weird.
You like his face? That sounds weird. Or did facials?
Oh, you're saying facials.
What's
I
happening?
love a good sized facial. I'm just saying.
Right after you get your pumpkin spice frappe or I don't know, whatever.
Hey,
the white chick's gonna get
there's
mad
nothing
at me.
wrong with that. Pumpkin spice is fucking delicious.
There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing.
I infuse my body with Halloween, with pumpkin.
I'm all for that, for sure. So yeah, Diesel wins with a big boot. That ends this feud, and we won't even talk about what's next. But I'm sure you saw from the encounter outside where Diesel's next challenger is going to be. Fucking Mabel. Spoiler. Oh. You haven't lived till you get to see Diesel and Mabel in a main event.
Yes, we just had Diesel face a giant. Now we gotta have him face a giant big guy.
Giant big guy. An extra giant.
A BBM.
Oh my. And then, after it was over, we had to get another video with the In Your House song again. Blaze was loving it.
In your house!
In your house, Jarrett's gonna sing. I don't know, something like that.
Going in your house again!
In your house again. Anyway, it was fine. It was the main event. I wouldn't have left mad if I was there. I don't know. I'm gonna give it 2.5 big boots to the ear. I don't.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this 2.5. Triple H is here!
Someone's really excited.
I know.
We still have a while before it becomes the game, but at least, we got to start with Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Where he's all proper and shit.
But
he really stood out, even though they barely showed him. Like, you could tell Triple H is a huge guy.
Yeah. Like him, Razor, they were kind of above everybody else around the ring there. Yeah. So we're getting close. We're getting there. 96 is when it's really going to pop off.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Definitely excited.
Yeah. Overall, not bad. Yeah. It was another good In Your House. I have bad memories of them, but, there were a couple bad matches, but overall, it was a good show.
Yep.
Yeah, can't complain. So let's talk about our favorite and our least favorite matches.
Favorite match of the night.
All right, for me, easy for favorite match of the night, hands down, is Shawn Michaels and Jeff Jarrett for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels versus Jeff Jarrett, easily the best. It was a pretty fantastic match in a kind of lackluster In Your House,
right. But that match had all the elements you want in a match. And I'm not a Jarrett fan, and I still love that.
No, I love the story. Jarrett was selling things crazily. So was Shawn, as he does.
Yeah, and all the dirty shit the roadie got in, even if you hated it, was great. It was,
and that dirty shit fucked him over.
Yeah, it did. In the end, the roadie fucked him over. So yeah, easy pick there.
All right. Worst match of the night.
All right, so I was going back and forth between two matches for worst match of the night, but I'm going to go with Mo and Mabel against Razor and Savio. I was debating with that and Bam Bam and Henry, but at least Bam Bam and Henry was a short match, so I couldn't hate it as much. But yeah, I'm going with that tag team match.
I'm kind of with you, partially because I thought Bam Bam versus Henry wasn't all that bad.
And it wasn't, really. It really wasn't.
But yeah, the Mabel and Mo versus Razor and Savio Vega, just not very good.
No, Mabel's not good. Mo was, and nobody cares about Savio still.
No. It wasn't.
Even with Razor on the apron as his partner, people just aren't feeling Savio yet.
Yeah, it was definitely the worst. I think.
And unfortunately, we're not done with fucking Mabel yet.
No, I didn't think so.
No, there's much more to come.
Hooray.
I can't wait.
So, in your opinion, did you like this one or the last In Your House better? One or two?
From what I'm remembering, one, actually.
See, I think I'm with you. I think one was overall a more consistent and better show.
Especially being the first In Your House. A new pay-per-view, a shorter format, plus giving away that house in the middle of it. You know, but you're right. Yeah, I mean...
No houses were given in this.
No, they only did it that...
In Your House just broke into your house.
Yeah, they did it that one time, and that was it. But I agree. I think the first one just had a little bit of an edge over this one.
Yeah. So. I agree. I think it had a little more of an edge. But this one had the best match.
Yeah.
Shawn versus Jeff Jarrett was an outstanding match. Yeah. And I don't think that any matches hit that potential with the first In Your House.
No.
But
that might be one of the best ones me and you have watched since we start. Like one of the best matches since we've started.
I think
not
you're
going
right.
back, to Raging Blaze, but
I
since
think
we
you're
started,
right.
that could be one of the top
since
ones.
We started getting back into this.
Yeah,
this is that is definitely the best match. I think,
and that just shows you Shawn again.
I don't think I've done any match as 4. We've had a lot of weak matches.
Yeah,
lately.
we have, and neither one of us may have done a 4 yet. So yeah, that's good stuff. Shawn Michaels is Shawn Michaels.
And he really showcased it, and Jeff Jarrett was a good foil for him.
Yeah, and that's the best, like I said, that's the best Jarrett look too, but that happens in wrestling. A good opponent brings the best out of you. You make each other look good, you tell a story, you entertain us. That match had everything, for sure. And it's kind of exciting because next week we're going to one of the big ones. We get a big pay-per-view. SummerSlam in the middle of October. It's summer in October on our show, folks.
That's right.
Maybe I should wear my swimming trunks this next week. Is that what that is? Ooh. I could get Blaze going and I could break out the Hulk Hogan beach shirt.
All right.
Just walk in the door and rip it off when I get in the studio. Have an assistant. Bring me another shirt. I don't even know where they were tonight. My coffee got cold. We're going to need an assistant. When we get that monies.
Yeah, yep.
When we get that monies. All right. Well, I guess it's time to plug some pluggables.
Plug some pluggables.
You
can find me on Dragon Blazer Productions on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And you can also find me on Twitter at Dragon Blazer Pro.
Yes, sir. We, of course, have our Boomer and Blaze Facebook page, and then you can find us on Twitter and on Instas at Boomer_Blaze. And then we also have the email. If you want to email us and complain or request or compliment, whatever, it's boomerandblazeshow@gmail.com. So, I think that's it for this week. Anything else from you, Blaze?
No.
Get that pumpkin spice while you can.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us.
Pumpkin spice time.
We will see you next week for SummerSlam. Until then, I am Boomer.
And I'm Blaze.
And good night.
Well, I'm leaving the rat race, heading for the country. Gonna buy a Chevy pickup with a Benzie for my honey. Drive on down to Nashville, listen to my radio. Come on, baby, gonna head out to the dance hall, make a little noise. Gonna crank up the band, make some music with the boys. Double J is gonna be singing for his baby tonight. Look out in your house. We're in your house tonight. We're coming at you in your house. We're gonna polish up our boots and raise the roof all night. In your house. Oh, baby, in your house tonight. Here we come, in your house.
Hey everyone, this is Blaze from the Raging Blaze and the Boomer and Blaze Show. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more wrestling content.